Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and we're going to do a little page in our little tiny autumn journal we made in 2024 that I'm trying to fill up in 2025. So we are going to tape off a page. Right now. Scott has left for work. And I have dealt with the outdoor kitty cats, gave them some fresh water and checked on them and gave them something to eat. And all right. Hi, Sophia. I pulled out my brown pocket thinking maybe we'd see something in here that spoke autumn to me. So we'll do this real quick. Well, that's got some partial pieces on that side that look interesting, but I kind of like the coloring on that one. I don't think we need any of the fairies. Old ledger pages. This is kind of cool looking, even with the rope on it. This is just a paper towel that I did cleanup with. And this section over here looks autumnal. Hang on, there's never a time that I don't have to deal with you guys. I'll prop it for a minute, but it's 41 degrees outside. So I'm not going to leave it open for long. I don't know what kind of stuff this is. Been sucked up on it, but can you see the shiny bits on it? So I'm just going to leave that sitting there. I don't think we need sand castles for autumn. This is kind of looking bark stuff looks cool, but doesn't really go with this. That's an envelope that I bet Janet Nash made because it's got a heart on it. There's an Isle of Man symbol there. Okay. Here's some just brown paper. That could be interesting. I like the texture on this piece. I'm just going to go through this and pull some things out. And then we'll go from there. I'll move this. This is too light. I've decided I'm not going to use those. Let's see here. Some instructions for a pattern I don't have anymore or never had. All right. Another piece of that brown. This is somebody's report card. They got A's. Good for them. There's a pig. Put a pig on it. Some piano key things. There's a darker brown. That's one of Mary's stamps. All right. This has kind of got those same browns in it. And we'll just come up with something. I don't know what yet, but we'll come up with something. That's a pretty cool color there. That tea bag looks interesting. That was a cluster I made. Got some birds. I'm going to start putting this stuff back in the bag. So when I'm done, I'm done. Putting things back. Llamas or alpacas. This was a cluster I made for a ATC. Somebody's playing in the front room. I can hear the boards rattling. Tolerant. I'm not feeling very tolerant. I can't quite make out. This is kind of interesting. I think those are persimmons. White moth. This is some of that National Geographic where you put the citrussil on it. You guys, I'm going to have to close the door. It's just too cold to have it open. I don't know where they are, but I'm going to close the door. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just too chilly to have the door open. Oh, that bear playing in the water looks cool. This was a packing tape transfer that I just stuck onto a piece of white paper. I could probably pull that loose. It's not glued on there or anything. I'm just going through here and finding things that kind of go together. Love his hair. That looks cool. My son's best friend growing up had beautiful dreadlocks like that, and Greg always wanted dreadlocks. Jason said, I'll help you grow them, and he never did. There's a little bird that kind of goes with it. Sophia, you must be the only one up this morning. That's a neat little quote on effect. This envelope is something somebody else died, probably Janet Baum. Now Howard's beating at the door because he's trapped out there. Some coffee filters. Don't need the sandcastles. Yeah. This is cool. This is cool. It's another one of those cool envelopes. You guys are driving me nuts. That rooster up the yards is morning Pam, morning Diane. So today we're not doing sewing over here. We're doing a journal page and maybe a card or two that I can mail out. I owe a card to Irene Payton. She sent me a lovely card. So I thought I'd pull out the stuff that looks autumnal from my bag of, I have these like, what do you call these? Protector pages. And I've got one for like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, indigo, and brown and black and white and that kind of thing. And I'll just pull one out periodically and we go through it and we just put together all of the papers and stuff that kind of go together. And then I create cards or a page. Let's put that shoe over there. And the first part is going to be just pulling things together that I feel I could, turn into a card or something. This right here was a piece of my drop paper that I've put, and I could put signatures in it, and that could be a little journal. I got some old bags and stuff in here. And now Greg's cats are digging at the other door. And once I get a bunch of stuff picked out, we'll start putting them together. I kept the fishtail thinking I would combine it with something else. So I hope everybody's having a good morning. These would make great mats for a card, so I'm going to hold on to those. That looks like a William Shakespeare. Love meerkats. They're so cute. So you just kind of pull the things out that kind of matchy-matchy. And before you know it, you have the grounds to make something interesting. That bear is kind of cool. That's a found relative from Barb Owen. There's another cool looking bear. Those I think came off a calendar. Some fish. There's another quote. That one's talking about elastic. I don't know that I'll use that on anything. There's Janice and Brenda. Good morning. There's a Peter Rabbit. It's another flower. This was a stitched cluster that somebody sent me. This is another one of those where you do the transfer with packing tape. And then I've just kind of stuck it on a piece of white paper. Sometimes I can get them back loose without having to wet the paper. I like that circle. All right, so I think we've got enough here that we could create a quick page. And then maybe the mats, I'll just do these up and then I can apply them to a card later. So you can start making cards with what you have. I definitely think I want to use this in some way. I love this reddish color. And this is just paper toweling. I might change my mind on it, but that's where I'm going to start. And then I love these bears. This tea bag has got such an interesting effect on it. And I just put it down and then lift it up, and I just keep trying until I come up with something that I like what I'm seeing. Sorry if I'm not looking at the screen right at the moment. I'm doing the creative bit here. I pull my toweling out. Let me just see what else I've got here. It's hard for me to describe what I'm looking for, but I'm just trying to fill it up a bit. Let's see here. All right, I think I'm going to go with what I have for this bear. And I'm going to use these components. Okay. Just a minute, Piper. I'm going to have to let her in because she's going to dig the door apart. And I'll put this on top of that. Right. She just likes to come in and get in the chair where she can keep an eye on everybody. I'm going to put this craft mat down so I can spread glue without it getting everywhere. And, oh, here's a glue stick right here. All right. So I'm just creating a quick background. Scott fixed his issue with that floor sander. He made a new cord guide for it with just scraps out of his shop. I'm so glad to have a handyman for a husband because he just makes stuff out of nothing. Okay, and then I want the big piece here. So I saw Ann was saying that she thinks her room is going to be done this week. Yay, that'll be so great. Okay. Now, I don't know how good this particular glue will work over time, but it's what I have a whole bunch of, so I'm trying to use what I have. La, la, la. We'll hold that. We'll just stick him down. And then we'll have to come up with our phrase that we're going to choose. Calendars are a cool place to get your images from, to be sure. All right. And we'll pull off our tape. And we'll end up with a little border along the edge. I really need a damp paper towel to wipe that glue up I got on the bear. It's glossy. It'll wipe right off. I just don't have any wet ones. So I'll get a damp paper towel. Here we go. Ow. Okay. Let's see, what are these sayings? Falling, long walks, and warm drinks. It's a quote from the Queen of the Pumpkin Patch. Cat hair. Imagine that. Wild is the music of autumnal winds. I think that's the one I'm going to use. Friedrich Nietzsche. I noticed that autumn is more the season of the soul than of nature. Okay. This one's a William Wordsworth quote. Might as well use the quotes I put together, right? Okay, let's put this, I'm going to put it at the bottom instead of at the top. And they're back at the door beating on it. Do you ever think about the authors of these quotes? Do you think that they ever thought their quotes would be used in other people's journals? I don't really have a brown marker, I don't think. Let me look and see what I've got. I've got to do a cleanup. My place has gotten in disarray again. Well, I've got a big pen. No. We might get together and do a mandala for this page, and we'll do it on a different piece of paper and then cut it out and put it over here. It'll be a small one, but we'll do that another day. It is November 17th, 2025, and there's supposed to be meteor showers, so you're supposed to be able to see up to 20 falling stars in an hour in tonight's sky. So I told Scott, I said, well, maybe tonight while he's teaching, I'll go sit in the backyard with my fancy camera and see what I can catch. So there's my little page in my autumn journal. I don't know if that screams autumn to you or not, but bears go into hibernation once it starts getting cold. So I thought it was fitting, and I just really like that bear. So then I've got some other things here that I can make card bases with. Let's see. Let's put those over there. So I've got these, but let's just do one. So I could put that down. Maybe put that on there. And it can go over the edge a little bit even. And then we could put a quote on there. Or something. Let me move this out of the way. This looks like, I don't know if this is a sticker or not. Maybe not. Oh my goodness, those cats. Yes, Howard, you're not going to die out there. Okay. Let's see. We've got some pumpkins that look like owls. Very fall feeling. Cool. Oh, my ink is not right behind me anymore. What, honey? You're fine. You were not going to die out there. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. This makeup sponge is seeing better days. I'm just going to do one card front. And I'm inking it because this paper has a white core and I don't want that to show. I don't have a card blank, I don't think. Maybe I do. And since I'm inking this one, I'm going to ink all the components that I do to kind of put them all together. If you need help with layering papers and stuff, I just recommend, looking up everybody that does good layering. Joey DeFee, she does great layering on her channel, and she has a bunch of older videos you can watch. So, and she could probably use a little bit of everybody touching in with her. Back in the day, to get this effect, we would just burn the paper. Remember that? You just tear it and then burn it and then blow it out. Okay. This here is just a magazine image. And there goes a piece of that sponge. Told you it was about wore out. And I'm not going to keep you guys long this morning. Janet Nash will be on at 9 o'clock, my time. Maybe I want that to peek out. And then we'll put this down here, flower there, and a sentiment there. All right. I'm going to put this down with some tape. If I can find some 1/4 inch. What time is it there, Becky? It's 6:47. Yep, 6:49. Yep, I'm in South Carolina. Good morning, Melanie. Whoops. May contain cat hair. At other houses, may contain dog hair or whatever kind of pet you have. We have cats. Yes, dear. What are you digging my chair about? I'll be done in a minute. Bossy butt. All right. I remember years ago, May made it, put up a challenge for people to come up with crafts to use the release paper. Do y'all watch May? I haven't watched her in years. I may have unsubscribed at some point or another because I felt overwhelmed with too many channels. That's what I am bad about. Or if they've taken a direction that I just don't do anymore. I shouldn't do that. I should just leave them up there. Oh, Callie is digging at the door now. It is chilly out there. I'll give them that. Yeah. I'm not far from the Columbia airport. So if you fly into CAE, I'm 10 minutes away. That's the call letters for the Columbia airport. CAE. I'm going to put that right there. I just want to finish this card front. Cat may have to wait a minute. She says she doesn't want to wait. Can you hear that? Where she's clicking the screen, the storm door? That's the downside of being right here by the catio door, which is basically our screened porch, but it's not screened anymore. It's got garden fence on it. So the cats can go out there and be safe. I decorate my trash can with the paper from the back of the tape. And then it gets decorated into the kitchen trash can, and then it decorates the dump truck. That's where it goes. Here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, dear. Okay. We are going to put this on here. I think I do have a card base here. I think that's a card base. I'm going to have to wipe my hands on that wet paper towel, though. Or go wash them before I try to stick it down. This particular batch of double-sided tape, the backing paper is really hard to get started. I'm going to use the glue stick on this magazine page, or yeah, picture, because the tape is giving me a hard time today. So you can use magazine images on your cards even. Trying to wipe my fingers off here. And I have my glue handy here somewhere. Oh, okay, which side? That side? Oh, I like that color. It goes with the pumpkin better. I'm going to use that side of it. I didn't realize those were double-sided. Some tacky glue. And I'm going to grab a rhinestone to stick on that. Let me go ahead and shove this stuff back in my brown pocket here. Clean up as you go. Clean as you go, and then you don't have to think about it later. Get a rhinestone for right there. And I think this is a card base. So we will put this on there. Grab a rhinestone. Let me see. Of course, I always have to move stuff. Whoa. Nope. Come on, Gretchen. You're going to have to move a minute. Before I stick this on here, I will put some tape on the back of this. And I can stick this in the mail once the rhinestone is dried down. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? I think there's a gold pen in that set of Bics that Janice sent me. I might use it and put a border on this card. It's always the added little bits that you add to a card that make it have more dimension. You just don't want to go so far that it looks tacky. There is a thing of over embellishment. And I'm just eyeballing it. All right. And thinking this gold, maybe. Do I have something bigger than that? Let me see. I don't think I have really big ones. I think that'll be all right. And I'll just put a dot of tacky glue in the center. I'll glue that in. It should dry clear. All right. And I have a brown, even better. I forgot about these. See there? Let's see, what kind of quote do I want to put on here? Oh, lose me in the stillness of autumn, where all things rest for a while. I don't know the author of that one. If I can find the author, I usually attach it to these quote sheets. So they get, oh wait, there she is. It was Aurelia Leaf Song said that. I did include her name, but I left a space so I could see where to cut it out later. Put that down at the bottom. And I do need to sew today. I'm going to sew some things up to add to the Advent calendar. And I'm thinking what I'm planning to do is maybe on Wednesday. No, let's do it on a different day. I'll put an announcement on my community tab of when I'm going to do the giveaway for the Advent calendar. So watch my community tab. If you don't have notifications put on, you might want to, because I'm going to give away this. It's all handmade items, and it's USA only, simply because of the way people in other countries have to pay a fee to get packages. I don't want that. When I send something as a gift, it's meant to be a gift. It's not meant for somebody to collect more fees from. So I'm trying to save whoever wins it, that cost. So I'm sorry if somebody out in another place would like it. It's just, and the cost is prohibitive all around for me and for y'all. But we're just going to kind of have a Advent giveaway party. And I will pull from whoever's in attendance. And that way I know it's somebody that's subscribed or at least comes around on a regular basis that gets it, because that's who I really want it to go to. Is a loyal subscriber. And even if you're a new subscriber, as long as you're subscribed and hang around, that'd be nice. Oh, all right. So I made a card. And now I've got this handy dandy. Oh, bye, Diane. I'm going to finish this up and get off from here. Greg, the camera's pointed at the table, FYI. So you can move around. You guys can move around. It's no problem. Because I'm still in PJs myself. Remember, your borders don't always have to be perfectly straight lines unless that's what you're going for. And I am not. So that's how we're going to do that. I'll announce when I'm going to have that a day or two before so that everybody has a chance to see that giveaway. And yeah. All right. So we made a card, all from scraps. And we did a little page in our book. So we're getting this journal that we made last year filled up. And I hope everybody enjoyed that. And I will see you guys next time I see y'all. All right. Have a great Monday, guys. I hope your week goes wonderfully. Bye.